I was so excited when the first three episodes of The Falcon and the Winter Soldier aired because it was one of the Marvel Disney Plus shows that I was most looking forward to. Not even Loki, not even Armor Wars, none of those, not even WandaVision. I was most looking forward to this one. I have to say now that I watched episode 4 through 6, the final, and especially the final episode, which this is going to be mostly about, I gotta say, I didn't like it. And I feel kind of bad for saying it that way. But it's just the truth. It's just my opinion. And I'm just gonna state some of the reasons here that I didn't like it, that it rubbed me the wrong way, in so many ways. Hi, my name is Michael S. Garner, and I like to do comic book related TV shows and movie reviews. Just kind of my thoughts, my reactions to them, and everything like that. Being a big comic book person myself, I've been reading them ever since I was little. I've done the research and everything like that when things came before I was born and everything like that. So I've been pretty steeped in the comic book world for a very long time. Yeah. Just getting right into it, this is kind of my reaction to the last three episodes of Falcon and the Winter Soldier, from episode 4, all the way to episode 6, the final one that aired recently. Like I said at the beginning of this video, I just want to say that this is the show that I was really looking forward to seeing. Because of all the Marvel MCU characters, Captain America was one of my favorites, and honestly, he was one of my favorites in the comic books as well. Next to Daredevil, and next to a few others. Okay. I don't even know where to go with this. I usually try to get some notes down because I'm kind of like a stickler for a plan. But this time I was like, you know what? I didn't even know if I was going to do a video because I haven't done one in so long. But I'm like, I got to say something about this. I got to get my opinion out there about this. And I know some people have the same opinion to a certain extent. So I'm just going to kind of go off the fly here and let you just know certain things I thought about this. First of all, spoiler alert. Just want to be spoiler. This is a spoiler video. This right here. I was never a fan of Sam becoming Captain America in the comic books. And when they introduced that suit for him in the comic books, I was like, ugh! I hated it. I'm like, there's way too much going on in that suit. I've seen a lot. I mean, for God's sakes, I was into the Bionic 6 cartoon when I was little, and there was a lot going on with those people's suits. Look at all this. Look at all that. So many gears and crap. But the suit for Falcon when he became Captain America in a comic book was jarring. Hated it. Hated every part of it. No matter who drew it. People did draw it well in certain instances and everything like that, but the suit, the fundamentals of the suit just never worked for me. Hated it. And the reason why I never liked him becoming Captain America is because I'm always like, as being an African American person myself, I always said, create a good character that's African American. Do not make him adopt somebody else's emblem. And I've always been about that. And I am one of those people who's like, let's go to DC for instance like that. Dick Grayson becoming Batman. No, become something your own. Become Nightwing 2.0. I don't know. Don't become Batman. You don't have to take upon that mantle. And I really didn't like that in the comic books. And honestly, I really don't like it happening in the series. I know it was coming, but I didn't know it was going to be as jarring as it was in the comic books. Like, especially when I saw that costume, because the costume here, I was like, ooh. And I've seen some videos now because I tried not to watch any videos on it, like talking about the aesthetics of the costume and how it fits and everything like that. And I kind of agree, but I just want to say right away is that it doesn't work because it's too freaking bright. There's too much white in it. And for Anthony Mackie, and it did not work for me. And this is my personal opinion. I'm just going to keep saying it's my personal opinion. I hated it. And the inner workings of the fact that if he were to become Captain, or if he were to be the representation of Captain America, I was willing to accept it if they actually gave him the super soldier serum, even though I'm against the fact that we have so many super soldiers out there who have no problems now. We have this whole terrorist organization, quote unquote, if you want to call them, that don't want borders and everything like that. And every single one of them have powers and they seem to be proficient with them. And I'm like, what the hell? Where did they get this training? Carly, for instance, I'm sorry, I'm just going off on a rant here, but like Carly, for instance, I liked her when she was first introduced and everything like that. I'm like, oh, that's I like her look. I liked everything about her and everything like that. But I didn't like the fact that none of them seemed to have any physicality. With the exception of one person who was Asian American, I believe. You could tell that he had a lot of physicality, but you could see it beyond all the baggy clothes he was wearing. You could see it's like, no, he's got it. But like Carly, for instance, I'm just focusing right on her. I liked her for a little bit. Then after that, I hated her. I'm like, she should die in this series. You should take her out. Let John Walker go after her and do what he did to that other guy. Because I was like, why do we even have sympathy for these people? Because as soon as it comes to the point where you start to kill other people, that's the line. And yes, there are superheroes who kill and everything like that, and that's the reason why I wasn't mad at John Walker when he did that, because I'm like, that he's a different character. I mean, we got the Punisher, we have Daredevil, we have many characters in the Marvel Universe, including Thor, Iron Man, and Captain America, who have killed many people. That's just the way the Marvel Universe works. They killed the death toll in the Marvel Universe is skyrocketing. Just go to Age of Ultron. And that opening scene where the Avengers are fighting, I can't remember who they're fighting, the Hydra people or whatever. Like, how many people died in that whole scene? And it's just like, it just gets on my nerves that, like, we're going to this, like, we're having sympathy for Carly, whatever the hell her name is, when she killed innocent people. Lots of them. She burned them up and blew them up in a building. And it's like, and she's constantly, and then she killed Battlestar. And I'm like, whoa, when that happened, I was like, whoa. I was kind of thrown back by that. I know Battlestar, I believe, died in the comic books, but it was shocking. And I'm like, I had no sympathy for her for a while there. I just wanted her to, and I didn't get my satisfaction with that, by the way. Yeah, she got shot by Sharon Carter. I'm not gonna go there right now. Yeah, she got shot and everything like that. But I really wanted like Bucky, or I really wanted what's his name? The Walker of the new Captain America. I really wanted them to kill her, like to beat the crap out of her, because she deserved it in this series, in my opinion. Yeah, just lots of things about this was upsetting me. And going back to the Sam Wilson becoming Captain America, I wish he just became something of himself. And the things that he was doing with that suit, I hope that they explain later that maybe it augmented his strength or something, but the one big thing that really threw me off, not even threw me off, I mean, that makes no sense even in the comic book universe that you've established. The fact that that truck, when it was falling over, and he's the one who saved it, yes, he has a jetpack that's able to push a lot and lift a lot, but he was using his arms to hold back the truck while the jetpack was propelling him forward. His arms would have cracked because he's human. There's no way he could do that. That's like saying if Batman had a jetpack and he was going to go save like a truck, and he did it with his bare hands, with the jetpack using the momentum of the force to actually push it forward. That makes no sense. His arms would be broken. He wouldn't be able to hold that truck at all. I was like, what is this? We're just making him into Superman? And what else? What else? Other than that costume, can't stand that costume. Even in the comic books when he had the shield, and I realized that he didn't have any powers. I remember like when the comic book first came out, when he had that costume as Captain America, I was like, whoa, does he have superpowers then? Because there's no way he could throw that shield. And I don't even care for the stupid montage sequence that we had of him and Bucky like throwing a shield around and everything like that and practicing. It doesn't make any fucking sense. He can't do that physically. There's no way that he could be throwing that shield physically, especially with wings and flying around, like grabbing it with his arm. That would snap every tendon in his shoulder. It just doesn't make any sense to me. That's the reason why, even though I didn't like the fact that we made the super serum, the super soldier serum, even though then we made that capable of giving other people's powers, and I can't stand that because that makes Captain America less unique, because everybody else has all those powers and they easily have it and they're easily capable. I was only willing to accept in my head, I'm like, oh, well, give Sam the powers then, because there's no way he could be like jumping around with that damn shield, especially flying at the same time. I don't care what the damn Wakanda technology is in there. Unless you gave him an Iron Man suit, that ain't happening. I'm sorry. Going to other parts. So I don't like Sam becoming Captain America in the way that he did. And I actually did not like that speech at the end about borders. I did not like that at all. I thought it was well written, but it came off as being, how can I put this, not taking into account the complications with that, with everything that's going on in the Marvel in the Marvel Cinematic Universe on this TV show. There was a lot of things, and I did think the senator who had that kind of rebuttal with him when he says, "Well, it's more complicated than that," and that was the first thing I thought. I'm like, "Wait, yeah, it is a little bit more complicated than that." You can't just say that and talk about Carly being, yes, she's a terrorist. Yes, they're simple. In my opinion, they're simple. Yeah, I agree with certain things that her ideologies were, but she went about it in the wrong way. She became a terrorist. That's what she became. When you start killing people, that's what happens. Here we go. I'm going to breathe a little bit. As you can tell, this last episode really kind of upset me. Isaiah Washington, that was the only part where I actually kind of teared up at the end. I went, even though I thought it was, I'm not even going to say heavy-handed, I thought that it was, how can I put this? Saw it coming. Even though it was like, you saw it from a mile away and how it was going to be brought up and how everything was going to happen. But it's still kind of made me tear up, and it's probably the actor who does it too, I guess, who did John Jones, whatever. I did appreciate that part and everything like that. And it did, I was like, oh, God, he got recognition. I was actually like that. And I watched it late at night. I was like, oh, God, yeah. I'm like, at least he got but the fact that he still has a super serum surgeon in his body, and we're not talking about that either. But whatever. So Isaiah, perfectly fine. Sam Wilson, can't stand what happened with him in this. And I love Anthony Mackie as an actor. I do. But I just don't like the way that this went about. And the fact that, another thing, this could all, I forgot to mention this. This could also be coming from the fact that I watched them, the Amazon series. I watched the whole damn thing. And as you can probably tell from my tone right now, I had issues with that series a lot. My father grew up in Alabama, and he's like 80 years old now. More than 80 years old, I'll be honest. And he went through racism. He went through everything, the 60s and the 50s and all those time periods and everything like that. Just sidetrack to them. I watched them, and then I watched Captain America Winter Soldier. Sorry, Falcon and the Winter Soldier. So it kind of made me a little bit, I was already ramped up. So I'm giving out right here. I was already ramped up when I went into this. But when I watched them, I was like, the thing I hated about them was that I thought it was well made. I thought it was well acted. I thought it was well constructed. But even for a horror movie, it didn't make any sense whatsoever, in my opinion. And also, the story, it just didn't make it, things didn't match up at all. It was just, it annoyed the hell out of me. I thought it was going to have some good resolution at the end. Had no resolution, in my opinion. And another thing that I couldn't stand is that the representation of racism back then was the fact that, like, every person on the entire planet who's white is evil. I hated that. That's not true. There were some good people back then, even though they couldn't step up against their own, against their own race and like represent the African American culture and everything. They weren't all evil. Every white person, I think, was completely evil, and it was just like, whoa, everybody's evil. There's no goodness in here at all. And so that kind of rolled over when I went to Falcon and the Winter Soldier. So I was a little bit mad about that representation there. And it kind of like laid back into certain things about like Bucky. I love Bucky the Winter Soldier as a character. Loved him loved him in the comic books and loved him in the movies, even though the comic books didn't make any sense because he didn't have powers and just jumping around. But whatever, we're not even going to go there. He was a great fighter. This is the problem I had with this was that he was getting his ass whipped every damn time. Like, he was struggling to fight these soldiers when, like, they just got the serum. Bucky has a robotic arm and a serum in his body already. He's super strong, and he has an incredibly robotic arm that's super stronger than his other arm. And he's very capable. He has military training. He has all this training. And he's been around for a very long time. Yeah, he's brainwashed, but he has those fighting skills still. Unless they're saying that he doesn't. And in this, like, he was struggling almost every single time. And I was like, what the hell? Like, are we throwing Bucky under the bus a little bit here? I love Sebastian Stan, too. I think he did a good job, and I do like the relationship between him and Anthony Mackie. But I don't like the way it was finalized and represented in this series. And like I said, I was really hoping for the series. I really wanted to love it and everything like that. But honestly, all in all, I didn't. I hated it in the end. I'm like, God, this became crap in my opinion. And there's a lot of things I'm willing to accept, especially with comic book movies and everything like that, because I've seen so many interpretations of comic books and their universes, and I always respect the universe that you created, and that's the guideline that you go by. But in this, I just did not like it at all. And I really hope they explain with the Sam Wilson thing, like his power, like if he has super strength, or that suit gives him some super strength. There's some circuitry beneath it that's doing something, because it just doesn't make any sense. And yeah, I just this the whole series rubbed me the wrong way. I'm hoping that Loki's better. but I'm really not liking. Oh, Sharon Carter. I love Emily Van Camp, who plays her, because I love revenge. Even when she was in I think Seventh Heaven, I believe, or when she well, no, sorry, Seventh Heaven. Even when I love her to death. I love her as an actress. I hope she gets more. Even that show. Even though I'm not a procedural show, so I'm not a hospital procedural show, criminal procedural show, or CSI procedural show. I hate those things. They get on my nerves because they're all the same. And they take a topic that's done recently and it's like put it into a series. She's in The Resident, and I loved her in that. I watched it for like 6 episodes just to watch her. Love her to death. The fact that they made her into, we all saw her coming, she was going to be the power broker. I was just kind of like, okay, yeah, but then like she just became like mustache twirling evil at the end there, and I'm like, what? And there's a certain YouTuber who said something that came to my mind right when I saw that scene. I'm like, is she a Skrull? And honestly, that was one of the first things I thought. I'm like, but I didn't think about it because that was my deductive reasoning. Just like, oh, she must be a Skrull then. It was just like, she better be a damn Skrull. Because you just ruined her character. You ruined the validity of her. And I know for the 5 years of the blip, the certain things that she went through and everything like that. But really, this is what she's become. Bring Peggy Carter back from the grave and slap some shit into her. Just like slap some sense into her and bring her back to the good sides. Because it just didn't. None of it settled well with me in the end. None of this show. And I guess that's my rant. I just wanted to get it off my chest. I thought I wasn't going to do videos for a while again because I go through these hiatuses and like I get busy and stuff like that. And I do think about the fact like, why am I doing these videos? Just because I like to talk about this stuff, because there are people around me I'm not able to talk about it, and the ones I am, they don't have the working knowledge about it, and it may be surfacey just about like the movies and stuff like that. And I just like to do it just to hear what other people have to say, and so I just like to chime in myself and get my opinion out there because I just want it to be heard. And that's my opinion about Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Thought it had a strong beginning with some problems, and then those problems started to mature after episode 3, and they matured into this big tree of shit. That's what I thought it was. I thought it was crap at the end. I hope it gets redeemed in the movies, because supposedly we're going to get a Captain America 4 now, with Sam Wilson as Captain America. And maybe I'll say maybe we'd be better and everything like that, but just like, gosh, horrible in my opinion. Special effects are great, by the way. Like I said, production value is great. All that stuff great, acting good. I did not like the story whatsoever. I didn't think we needed it. I didn't think it should be here. But that's just my opinion. What do you guys think? Did you like the series? Did you have some of the same problems that I had? What do you think about it in a whole and everything like that? Did you accept a lot of things that I didn't like? Did you just like, no, this is the way it is? I respect other people's opinions. Like, that's your opinion. I'm just giving my opinion here. So what did you think? Write a comment below, whatever you think. I'm glad to hear it. Subscribe to the page if you do like the contents of this video and you want to see more. I try to post a couple every week, but it's kind of hard sometimes. It's not my full-time job. I just like to do this and everything like that. Just talk, get it out there. And also, if you do want to check out my online comic book, because I write and draw and create my own online comic book, it is called Visions of the New, which you can see at magicloud.com. Get a printed version there. You can actually just look at the previews and check it out and everything like that. I greatly appreciate you checking it out too. And until next time, I hope you guys have a great day.